These are the accessories for the Canon C50. So for wooden camera, we use high-end materials. If you're using camera cages, we use 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. We do a type 3 hard anodize. What it does is it actually anodizes to a deeper depth into the aluminum. So you'll notice over time that our stuff will maintain its look and feel way longer than a lot of our competitors. With a camera like this, it comes with a top handle on that. We wanted to come up with a design, the ability to run this camera without this handle. And let's say you remove this handle, you want to strip down this camera. We have a top plate. It's very small, very simple, but it's also utilizes the two mounting points on top of the camera. And now you have the most simplified cage system out there. We also sell a mini NATO rail that can actually bolt onto the top as well. That gives the ability now to use NATO handles. You can mount other accessories. We can mount cold shoes on the top. We can also do bubble level. Yes, you notice there's some mount points up on the top, and those mount points are very important if you're going to use our lens mount adapters. So we use a ring system for those adapters. So now we have a ring that wraps around the lens mount. So this gives us the option of attaching PL mount and then supporting that PL mount with no bottom attachments. So now you can run any support off the bottom, but now you still maintain the support for that lens mount and you still have the ability of mounting handles on the top. So here, I've moved that handle forward. I now have full support around that lens mount, and I can now run with any standard PL mounted lens. Now we do the same thing for LPL. So with the wooden camera LPL mount, we do have that support bracket. This one here is a little different. We actually support from the bottom. There's not a lot of surface area to grab on this. So we actually literally mount to the support foot on the bottom of that mount. And it attaches to the camera exact same way. And then you can use LPL lenses on your Canon C50. The next thing that we can do on this is we can actually add the half cage onto the side of this. We simplified this as much as we can by adding as many mounting points as we possibly can, but still having multiple attach points to the camera. If I am going to run HDMI cables, I can attach this cable clamp onto the side of the cage. That just uses a 3mm Allen key. In this particular design, you can use a right angle adapter, so you can HDMI can come from the back, or you can run the straight connector straight through. We do have a clamp across the top, but if you need to take up a little bit of extra slot, there's a set screw down on the bottom, 2.5mm, and this now allows me to push up and down on the HDMI connector so that we have an exact pressure on top and bottom. Putting the cage on, pretty simple. We just come in from the side, it locates right into place. I got one screw on the bottom, one screw on the side. You can see here that we actually align with the HDMI port. The other thing about this cage, and the reason why we come forward a little bit on this, is really to make access to the side here with all the connectors, but also maintaining 3/8 and 1/4 20 mount points across the side with the standard area locating pin configurations. It's raised out in such a way that if I do pop open one of these, I can now slide that over to the side and I have access to it. I don't have to pop and remove those off during normal use. So that can stay on, and then when I need to, I can just slide it back into place and pop it back in on the camera. This prevents you from having to remove those cover plates when utilizing the cage. Because the cage is broken up into multiple pieces, this allows you to configure the camera in different configurations. If you wanted to maintain your stock handle and still utilize our cage, you have that ability. The bottom of this cage, you can see we have multiple mounting points here, 1/4 20s. This allows you to mount various different plates to the bottom of this if you wish, anywhere from certain gimbals, or if you notice, there is a ARCA sideways on the bottom of this. That is the 38mm ARCA that's necessary for Ronin gimbals. This cage here slides on with the Ronin safety system built into the cage. That gives you some great options to make it more configurable. One of the things that you'll notice about our cage is that we have mounting points all along our cage. We do not have fixed locations for NATO rails, bubble level, or cold shoe mounts. This is done on purpose. One of those things of taking many years of designing camera accessories, realizing that each individual, as they set up their camera, wants to set it up a little different. So our goal was to make it so that you can mount what you want where you need it. Like a cold shoe, it's not fixed in this upper left-hand position all the time. There's nothing preventing you from mounting it now somewhere else. It comes down to how you want to set up your rig. And I always felt that that is the most important thing about designing accessories, is the user gets to decide where they want to put everything. Once you place a fixed feature on there, it's not movable, and now you have to work around it, and you have to mount your other accessories based off of where that manufacturer stated that's where you're going to be. Adaptability, configurability, those are the things that we try to make sure that you as the user has the option to do. With the half cage installed, we can also add an extension over on the other side. And the main purpose of this is really just for us to add more mounting points to the side of the cage. You could also then use straps as a way to hold on to the camera if you wish, because we give you an added strap location down here, so you can actually have a hand strap. You'll also see an interesting jump here, and that jump is in the handle of the Canon where the battery goes in. There's a little door that opens up that allows you to pull a cable out from a dummy battery. So now you can see added mounting points. We have another location, just kind of an added bonus spot right up on the top here. If you wanted to, you can actually use the quarter 20 bubble level into that. So now you have a clean location to mount your bubble level. The open spot down here at the bottom is a little door that opens up. If I want to, we can pop that out. We can use the wooden camera dummy battery for the Canon camera. This pops into place, opens up, and so now I have a cable to P-tap to power up this camera for longer shoots. The side adapter does not interfere with battery interchanges. I can switch it over to a normal battery. We can also access our media, and it's all clean and clear. We have nice soft curves on this. This is to allow for your grip to not change because you have a cage on the side. But if you're using this in any kind of studio style structure form, you can mount accessories on this if you want. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and switch this handle system over back to our top plate. One other feature you're going to see about this is you'll see this white line that goes all the way around this cage, all in various spots on this, and that is the sensor plane. So if you're actually physically measuring a distance out, you can actually see the line no matter where you're at on the camera, all the way down to the bottom dovetail. So we're going to go ahead and put the dummy battery back into this. The base plate systems for studio style setups and any cinema style setups is always going to be parallel to the lens axis. So you're going to be moving forward and backwards on a dovetail. The bottom of the cage being a different direction, it's now perpendicular to the lens plane. We ended up coming with an old adapter. So this adapter also converts the Ronin style dovetail into the wooden camera Arca dovetail. So this pops into place with a little click. There's a lever lock in the back, and now this is now compatible with our base plates. Everything has safeties on it, so nothing will accidentally fall off on you. And now we have our studio setup. These rods are now 60 millimeters apart, 85 millimeters from lens center. So these are all the proper standards, allowing you map box and lens supports and all those other features that have to attach off of those rods to be in the proper location. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and put this on this little dovetail. This is an airy style dovetail, so you don't need to run a bridge plate in order to mount your camera to a system. If you want to run Studio 15 mil rods or Studio 19 mil rods, you will have to mount our base plate onto that bridge plate, and then you use this adapter, and this basically mimics that airy dovetail. So now that this is attached and we have our rods already on here, we can take a battery plate. This is the one here that we actually made with the FX3 series, which is also compatible with this camera. This just attaches to the back side of the rods. We can grab our gold mount battery, pop that in. We also have that in V mount. You don't have to have that as gold mount. And now we can use P-tap cables here. Let's say you want to do vertical video. So vertical video, we actually have this little dovetail here. This is a 3/8 bolt that actually has the airy locating pin setups. Now we can actually slide this in, and now I'm in my vertical video mode. So that is a quick, easy way to convert your camera, and you can go back and forth very, very quickly. The ideas with this is just simplifying any of these types of shooting configurations as much as possible. Now, we did mention the NATO. If I wanted to run accessories, this can now mount to the side, or it can mount to the top plate. But now you have accessories that you can actually attach to the side of this and quick release those accessories on and off without any problems. Let's go ahead and put the stock handle back on. With our top plate, you can use any of the ultra handle system from Wooden Camera as well. But in this case, let's say you wanted to run this top. We actually have this adapter here that you can bolt onto the backside of the handle. It makes the grip a lot more comfortable and adds a bunch of mounting points. Gives you 2 more 1/4-20s and 4 3/8-16 attachments onto this. In this case, I can add handle extensions onto this. So now I have a handle system that still clears my battery to control this camera. And that allows your operators, if they like to, they can grab that top handle and actually operate the camera from. So adaptability, compatibility, our full line of accessories naturally work with all of this. You can see all the different configurations, and you understand at this point the ability of you as the user mounting accessories where you want to mount them as opposed to being fixed by what a manufacturer put that feature. So this shows you that you can get a cage system that starts at the bare minimum of just like a single cheese plate all the way up to a full studio setup. So with that, there you go. This is the full cage and accessories for a Canon C50.